gentlemen, it's that time of the year again. Welcome once again to the 2011 Fantasy Football Playoffs. Just want to congratulate all the members that you just saw for successfully making it to the postseason. This was only the third time in league history that the top 6 scorers made it to the playoffs, second time in the ESPN format. I also want to congratulate Michael J. Mifka for making his first career playoff appearance in our league.
Playoffs?
I know he's had quite an illustrious career and never made the playoffs somehow, but just want to give him a little bit of congratulations. I also want to congratulate the G-Ford for successfully breaking the single game scoring record with 195.2 points this past week. That is quite a showing from his team. Sean Green with 3 touchdowns, that goddamn son of a bitch. I hate him with a passion. Anyways, I'll be assigning a new trophy to him later this week to officially congratulate him. But as for the rest of you schlubs that missed the postseason, better luck to you losers next year. 2011 was quite an interesting season. As everyone knows, there was a lot of trash talking, a lot of scheming, a lot of loopholes exposed, and a lot of people exposing those loopholes. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. We're not here to talk about the season. We're here to talk about the postseason. So without further ado, here is how I break it down.
Gary and G both earned a bye this year. Gary taking the number 1 seed, G dugging his way to a number 2 seed. This is Gary's first ever playoff bye, and this is G's second straight in a row. Pretty impressive, G-Ford. Nice work. Franklin, after purchasing his team, much like the New York Yankees, lost the last 2 games of his season. And dropped down to the 3rd seed. He kind of limping into the playoffs there, especially with Matt Forte hurt. Fred Jackson gone for the year. Might be a tough one. Mifka, as I mentioned before, took home the number 4 seed. Me and him had the same record, but he ended up scoring about 70 points more than me throughout the season, which was pretty good by him.
Are you a big man?
I, of course, took the 5th seed at 7-6, scoring approximately 1,655 points. Not a bad year. And finally, Michael Pancoast, after prematurely being written off by one Michael J. Mifka, successfully made the playoffs at a below 500 6-7 by winning his last 2 games, one time beating Gary, top seed in the league, and last week beating me. It was an impressive run. So this is what the first round looks like. We've got Gary at the top of the bracket as number 1 seed with the bye, G at the bottom of the bracket as number 2. And our first matchup is Joe's Giants versus Creepy Joe's Cutoffs.
Overall, looks like Mifka has a slight edge with Drew Brees going at quarterback. Chris Johnson and Marshawn Lynch are the 2 better backs over LaShawn McCoy and Bradshaw, even though McCoy was the number 1 running back of all backs this year. Looking at wide receivers, I'm going to tip the scale slightly on Joe's side with Mike Wallace having a decent day. Victor Cruz being one of the hottest guys in the recent couple games, and I think he's got Mifka on a slight edge over Jeremy Maclin, who's just coming off a bad shoulder injury. Roddy White, who's actually been playing pretty well the past couple games, averaging about 17 points over the last 3. And Malcolm Floyd is a real roll of the dice. Had a nice game last week, but he's still, still unproven. So we'll see. My prediction, as I hate to say it, but I think Memphis got me by a little bit here. I'm going to go with Joe's Creepy Cutoffs, 135 to Joe's Giants, 128.
Yeah, shop a whole day.
Looking at the other matchup, we got Tom Brady going against Matt Stafford. Brady, obviously, has been his beastly self this year. Matt Stafford's been on and off. He's had a couple of huge games, but he's had a couple lackluster ones as well. So I'll give the advantage to Tom Brady there in Mike's Eagles. As far as running backs are concerned, Mike's got Turner, Sproles, and Moss going up against Carolina, Tennessee, and New England. That's some pretty decent matchups he's got there. Turner's been consistent all year, putting up average numbers. Sproles, past couple of weeks, hasn't been doing all that great. He might have a breakout game here against Tennessee, though, in a much-needed win. And Santana Moss finds himself back in the lineup against a porous and terrible New England defense. That might not be a bad play there. Frank has, on the other side, LeGarrette Blount, Frank Gore, and Deion Branch going. Blunt goes up against a tough Jacksonville defense. The Jacksonville offense doesn't score any points, but they don't let many people score on them either. Frank Gore has Arizona this week. He didn't really do much against St. Louis last week, which he should have blown up against. So I don't know if this, if his injuries are still bothering him or whatnot, but we'll see. And Deion Branch is always a boomer bust. He's got Washington this week, so he might get a couple looks from Brady, but that would any touchdowns to him would nullify Brady on Mike's side. As far as wide receivers are concerned, Mike has Marshall, Nix, and Green going up against Philly, Dallas, and Houston. Philly and Dallas, those are pretty decent matchups for Nix and Marshall. Should have decent games there. AJ Green's been putting on numbers all year. He's going up against Houston's D this week, which might, might be a decent matchup, but we'll have to see on that one. And then on Frank's side, he's got Fitzgerald, Jennings, and Smith going up against San Francisco, Oakland, and Atlanta. Not that great of matchups, especially in Arizona going against San Francisco. Fitzgerald's going to be double-teamed all day, and God knows Cobb is not going to throw him the football, so it's not looking too good there. Jennings might have an okay day against Oakland. Steve Smith against Atlanta. It could go either way for him. Overall, I give the edge to Mike's Eagles with a score of 146 to 121.
And that's how I see it, you Boner Jams. Tune in next week to see my previews for the semifinal matchups. I'll leave you with this.
Wait, how ready to go are you, Joe? All right. Yeah, you tell me how ready to go you are.
We're going out the dirt. Come on, Joe.
You ready to go? Get out of the bar. Come on. You are ready to go, aren't you? You're a fucking champion. You are a champion, Joe. Joe, how do you feel about being a champion? Tell me how you are a champion. Fucking right. Say hi to the camera. Yeah. You're a fucking champion.
I'm going to get back.